Hey, this is Anna Runyon from ClassyCareerGirl.com, and today in my networking challenge I'm speaking with Coach Jenny. Coach Jenny turns pretty awesome people into extraordinary individuals, which is why I'm excited to speak with her today. So thanks so much, Jenny, for being here.
Oh my gosh, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So your nickname is the Audacity Coach, and I wanted to ask you more about why Audacity.
It's a great question. I get it all the time. I am pretty audacious. I'm very bold. I'm very brazen. I got chutzpah. I love all the words that mean audacious. And audacity is really not arrogance. So one of the things that often gets confused with is the concept of arrogance, that I think I'm better than I actually am. That's really what arrogance is. Audacity is the idea that you deserve to live a life with the volume turned all the way up, and just really making sure that your life is as bold and as loud and as fantastic as humanly possible. So that's how I decided to become the Audacity Coach. Life coach and career coach is all wrapped up in there, but really is an attitude more than a modality.
Okay, I love it because it makes you stand out.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for me, it's a branding play too. For my career, it's definitely a branding play, so people understand what they're getting. If the word audacity turns you off, you're not my client anyway.
Yeah.
So it's good for that.
Okay. Well, let's go over kind of your career path and where you came from. I understand you went through like a career change, and a lot of my readers are kind of contemplating career changes. So I'd like to hear about that a little more.
Oh, sure. Been there, done that, ladies. Absolutely. Let me tell you, everybody. So my career was all about going to college. I'm the first kid in my family to graduate high school and go on to college, let alone grad school. So my dream growing up was to get into college. And then I got into college. And they said, what are you going to be when you grow up? I'm like, I don't know. This was the dream. That's all I got, It was really shocking to realize that, oh, crap, I got to come up with new goals again, And so I went on and started my career in the federal government. I wanted to change the world, and I thought that's where I could do it. And not to say that there aren't people that do that, I just found it very suffocating. I worked at the Department of Labor. I worked at the National Institutes of Health. There are amazing people there doing amazing things, but they're so wrapped up in red tape that it was painful. So what I was noticing is the people that were doing the things that excited me within my field, which is human resources development, organizational development, were the consultants we were bringing in. So I thought, I will become a consultant. That'll be great. So I shifted my career and went into consulting. And I hated it even more. And the reason that I hated it is we spent so much of our time coming up with new ideas and projects to sell to the federal government to keep me in snappy suits and fancy shoes. And it just didn't feel like I was changing the world. I was just keeping myself afloat. And I didn't love that. Now, of course, I gained amazing skills. I paid attention. I made sure I made some amazing connections, both in my federal career as well as my consulting career, because that is so darn important. And I never burned a bridge. That was really important to me, too, is that every single person that I can go back to, for the most part, any boss I had or anything, they're going to give me a big hug if they see me. But in 2006, my consulting career kind of vanished. I was talking to my boss, and she was like, you're okay at your job. But you're not great. And for somebody who's ambitious, that is a painful pill to swallow. She was right, but it didn't feel right, So I was like, okay, you're right. I am not great at this because I don't love it. And she's like, yeah, it shows. So I took a beat, and I said, okay, I'm going to pull off, and I took a tiny little severance that she gave me, and I started my own coaching business. And I was 30 years old, and I thought, who the heck am I at 30? I'm going to be a coach. What do I know? But you know what? I know a lot about being me. And then as I met my coaching clients, I found out a lot about being them and what they needed to turn up the volume. So the rest is history.
So how did you get over like that fear of change?
You don't. This is not a really nice thing to say, but fear is actually not something that you get over. It's something that you just deal with and you push through. I like to say that fear is actually a tool. It's a tool that your body is saying, yo, pay attention, this is important to you, right? And if you're not feeling fear or any kind of butterflies in the stomach at all, it's not that exciting. It's not that important. It's not that big. with the exception, of course, physical fear because you're about to be in a car crash or whatever, but career fear, you know what I mean? It's your body telling you that. I have no idea how you get over the fear because I consistently feel the fear. But like one of my great mentors taught me, it's not about not feeling the butterflies, it's about teaching the butterflies to fly in formation. And figuring out how can you embrace the fear, deal with it, and push through it and keep going, stay in action.
So why do you think so many people are kind of just stuck in their careers, and what can they do about it?
Good question. Most of the people that I work with come to me because they're experiencing the same exact angst. And that angst is, I don't know what I want, but I know it ain't this. It's that feeling of, okay, I followed all the rules, I've done everything I'm supposed to, I've checked all the boxes, so to speak, and I'm coming along life, and it looks pretty good on the outside, and I've got a couple cute stories at the cocktail party. But I get an acid stomach on Sundays because I'm dreading going to work on Mondays, right? I think almost every human being has been there in their career at some point or the other. But when that becomes a regular routine and you start accepting that as the status quo or just the way life is supposed to be, that's work, that's what it's like, that's a real bummer. And I think a lot of people get into that because it's comfortable. Because the only way out of that rut is to make a big change. It's face fear to dive into that. You know what I mean? And I think it's just kind of human nature to fall prey to that kind of routine and that comfort. I mean, the other thing is, let's face it, as you're building your life, you're also building your wealth. You're building your salary. And if you're like most humans, you're spending at the rate that you're getting paid. And so then pulling back or making changes or shifting careers is really scary because it hits on that financial security.
So what do you think are like the first couple steps someone should do? So they figured out they're stuck. I'm in a rut. What do I do next?
The very first thing you have to do is figure out what the heck you want. And in my coaching, which is, so much fun. I mean, this is my favorite thing in the world is to hear somebody say, I don't know what I want, but it ain't this. Okay. The first thing, you've decided it ain't this. That's huge. Okay, what is it? Because we can't get you between I'm stuck and I'm not stuck until we kind of figure out what not stuck looks like. And really taking the time and figuring out what it is that you actually want your life to look like. It's hard. There's no easy question. And there's no simple checklist. I don't have a perfect coaching exercise that one size fits all that works for everybody. Unfortunately, that just doesn't exist. So you just have to take the time, take the energy, and your wild imagination and really go for it. I have lots of different tools that I share with my coaching clients, but the truth of the matter is you have to decide that you're going to decide.
Yeah, and I like making like kind of a deadline for yourself too, or some type of goal. And like write it down and share it with someone too, I think is important.
And so I love that you said share it with somebody because I think that's even more important. Writing down a deadline is great. That's good jazzy stuff. Having somebody call you on the 30th to say, yo, have you decided if you're going to grad school or not? It's a whole other thing. And if you know that phone call is coming on the 30th, you're going to do everything you can to get there because then you're not just disappointing yourself yet again. You're actually disappointing somebody who cares about you, who's driven and excited about your goals. So getting that accountability, massive.
I love that. So tell us about like pact and why we should make a pact model or make a pact with ourselves.
Absolutely. So I love that you brought it up. So my model of coaching is called the Audacity Pact, P-A-C-T. Now, first of all, I love the word pact because it's a promise, right? It's a promise that you're making to yourself, but it's kind of heavier than promise. Promise is sweet and soft and lovely, but a pact, it's kind of like, you've got your blood sister, blood brother kind of pact thing. It's really hardcore. And PACT is an acronym that stands for the 4 ingredients you need for Audacity. The first one is possibility. You have to have a sense of what's possible for you. Another reason people get stuck in a rut is they think too small. So we need to think big. Possibility. A is for ambition. You got to know what you want. You got to want things. You got to want more. C is for confidence, which I know you talk a lot about here on your blog. I mean, confidence is so key, and it's key for everybody, but I find it's really key for women who are, okay, I see the possibility. I really want great things, but I don't think I can do that. That's going to cut it. You have to tap in and find your confidence to say, you know what? I don't know how, but I know I'm going to figure it out along the way. And then finally, T is for tenacity. All of that's well and good, but if you procrastinate and don't do anything about it, so what? Right? So all four are necessary. You have to have the possibility, the big picture, what could be for you. You have to have the ambition and figure out, okay, what is it? What's my thing? And then the confidence to say, I got this. I'm going to go after it. I'll figure it out. And the tenacity to never, ever quit. So that's the PACK model.
I love that. That's a great little acronym you have.
Thank you.
So, and then you mentioned cathartic shove. Can you explain what that is?
Absolutely. My new program, the tagline is a cathartic shove towards self-actualized brilliance. And my coaching clients actually, I do, which is really interesting. I give cathartic shoves. There's a lot of coaches out there who are amazingly supportive and wonderful and sweet, and they listen and they coddle. I don't coddle. I really shove you. Because you didn't come to me because you want your life to change like a little bit, you know. You come to me because you want your life to be amazing. I mean, audacity is not for babies. It's not for sissies, if you will. You know, audacity is hardcore. So you need a shove in the right direction and to get reminded that you can do this. It's truly like that idea of when you teach a kid to swim. If you teach them to swim while holding them, it takes a heck of a lot longer than tossing them in the water. I like to toss people in the water with love, of course.
So this is a question I ask at the end of all my interviews. What is one thing you wish you would have known as a young professional woman just starting out in her career?
Obviously, my coaching is a reflection of who I am, because the one thing I wish I would have known is that confidence isn't something that somebody hands you. It's something that you develop. And it's not something that you're going to get just by being near confident people. You know, it's not something you get by osmosis. It's just by getting out there and doing it. One of the biggest confidence builders I have experienced is failure. You know, of actually falling on my butt and making a big mistake and kind of kerplunking. Because when I get myself back up and I realize, okay, that didn't kill me. What did I learn from it? What am I going to do next? I built so much more confidence. And for when I was starting out in my career, and I imagine a lot of your listeners are the same way, when I was starting out, I was terrified of failure, so I wouldn't try. You know, I would avoid confrontation or change or failure, anything like that, any possibility of that. Ooh, it's too scary. And that was from a lack of confidence. And yeah, I don't know, I thought I would just get confidence, like it would be bestowed on me, you know, at some birthday or something. And it just doesn't work that way. You have to go out and create it for yourself.
Yeah, I talk about that a lot. And just like networking, talking to people increases your confidence so much too.
I love your networking challenge. I think this is brilliant because people are getting a sense of how you network and how it's just about, hey, nice to meet you. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation and get to know each other, and how valuable that is. It can't be overstated. So bravo.
Awesome. Well, where can people find out more about you online?
Absolutely. So there's two spots. If you want to go to my general coaching page or learn about my speaking programs, you're going to go to CoachJenny.com. That's Jenny with an IE, CoachJenny.com. And if you're interested in my new program, Audacity Rules, a cathartic shove towards self-actualized brilliance, that's at audacityrules.com, and it comes out on October 11th.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for speaking with me today, Jenny.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me, and good luck to you. I think this is a fantastic program. I'm so excited.
Thank you. This is Anna Runyon from ClassyCareerGirl.com.